Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. just some sports management graduate who wants to get a job at KSE and won't ask any questions to piss anybody off. I am joined,
That's very kind of you.
of course, by my guy and your guy downtown.
That's me.
Duane Brown.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're ready to talk about some soccer.
I'm ready.
Some soccer today.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready. And who better to have on the ones and twos than our guy, super producer Kale. Welcome back, bud. Let's go.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course. We had to get our guy back. Yaya, not with us. Currently on a top secret mission overseas for the...
We can't talk about it.
I've said too much already.
Top secret.
I've said too much already. We got a packed show for you guys today in the middle of a break. Who knew we would have such a busy rundown today? We are going to talk about the Leagues Cup. We're going to talk transfer window. We're going to rank all the stuff, all the moves from the window. And then we're going to talk actually right now, not then, right now.
Yeah, let's kick it off.
We are going to talk about the depressing, sad, awful, tragic 3-1 loss last night. Rapids 2, kind of Rapids 1.
It was Rapids 1.
It was like almost Rapids 1.
It was all Rapids 1, minus a few starters.
And they lost to Houston 2, which featured a 15-year-old midfielder. Kid who cannot drive a car in the United States beat the Rapids first team. It was embarrassing, but I really don't have too much to say about it. But I know my guy Duane does. I'm going to clear some space.
I've cooled off.
I don't care. I'm still clearing space, and we're going to hear why Duane.
I will say this. Let me start with this. If you saw from Brendan from the Post or Matt over at Burgundy Wave, both posted the quotes from Seb Anderson from after the game last night, and Seb offered an apology, and I thought that was cool. It really speaks to who he is as a guy and as a player and as a member of the organization, not just Rapids 1, but Rapids 2, and just the club in general. And I thought that was a classy move from him. And I think it's kind of, it's twice in a row now, right? Like we heard from Rubio and from Bassett last time on frustrations.
After the Toluca loss.
Yep. After the Toluca loss. We heard some frustrations, and now we hear kind of some very sincere thoughts and an apology from Seb to R2 about what happened. And I agree. I think the entire first team owes Rapids 2 dinner and a formal apology.
They owe them like cars.
I think, I don't know about cars. But
I know, I'm just kidding.
What bugs me the most about last night's loss is not just that it's our first team guys losing to
a 15-year-old?
To a 15-year-old in Houston's second team.
15-year-old.
It's that
it's insane.
It's that it damages, it puts more pressure on Rapids 2, who are still sitting atop the league, but now instead of being up by 4 points, they're up by 1 point on Charlotte, and they should be up by 4. And honestly, I think if Rapids 2 was the squad that went out last night, they win and they get those 3 points and they remain 4 points up. So that's what bugs me the most about this, is that you're messing with somebody else's record. Was it good to get some of the first team, Navarro coming out, getting him some minutes? Of course it was. But to me, it's just, there's no excuses for that. Like, I would expect a first team MLS squad to beat,
What?
a second squad
You would?
every time. I would put money on that every time. It's frustrating to me, and I wanted to see a higher press. I wanted to see more pressure on a Houston 2 team by the ones. It's super frustrating to me. That's not to say that there weren't positives. I mean, there are very few positives, but the positives out of that is that we did get to see Navarro play in the small sample size that we got. You know, he's got some really nice movement on the ball. He nearly had one there towards the end of the first half. When he gets into the box, he doesn't forget that he has a soccer ball at his feet, and he doesn't immediately pass it to no one, which I think is a nice, hopeful thing.
Before we dive in there, I do want to wrap up my thoughts on that loss, and as the team loss, in that I don't think it matters at all because MLS Next Pro is fake, and being first or second or last ultimately doesn't matter if you're playing well.
It matters to the players on that squad.
I don't know. I think those players are looking for playing time, goals.
They're
assists.
athletes, dude, and they're at the top of that table.
Sure, but I don't think anyone on that team is under any impressions that Next Pro standings, championships, any of that stuff.
I think it matters to them.
I've
played in rec leagues where I've lost and been upset.
Sure.
And then this is
but
something
I just
they've
think we're
built.
applying, I did say tragic and all that stuff, but I think we're applying a little extra sauce to the impact of an R2 loss. And especially of 45 minutes of maybe 80% speed for these guys who are going out there to get some cardio, get some passes off to Navarro, don't get hurt, and get out at halftime.
I expected them to be up by 3 at the end of the half.
And they weren't, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think it is. It's the end of the world. Shout out to Don Garber, MLS Commish in the chat. Love to see it. Thanks, Commish. Look, Navarro features. We see him for the first time he's wearing blue. Wasn't wearing burgundy. They were wearing the New Day kit. Looked great.
Which is great. And
he looked great.
Yeah, that's another topic. Maybe we'll talk at the end of the season, but that's one of the biggest marketing fails for the club this year. Is that they pushed this beautiful new kit so hard, and they only scheduled it for one home game on Mental Health Awareness Day, which is a great day to have it. The most
expensive game of the season.
But I wish we could see those kits more often at home.
Me too.
But they did look nice.
He played well. Look, he didn't have a ton of touches. He did have some nice runs. He was playing central. You had Yappy wide left. You had Cabral wide right. You had Diego and Sam Nicholson playing sort of 8-10-ish.
Yeah.
Pushing up, obviously, Rubio more 10 to 8 than 8 to 10. Sam kind of holding back. I think with Navarro there, we are going to see Diego. Honestly, my guess is slide into the Cole Bassett role right now. At least
makes a lot of sense. That's what it looked like
That's where he was on the field.
Yeah.
And he scored a beautiful goal. Beautiful goal.
Man, can I just tell
right
you
outside the box
how happy it makes me whenever Diego Rubio is on the pitch for the Colorado Rapids?
Yeah, tell me.
So happy.
So happy.
And it's just you immediately feel that things are turned up to 11, and he brings that just energy and expectation for the rest of the squad to pull up their game. And I mean, last night you could even hear it. Like, we were kind of laughing that because it was an empty stadium, right? And we were sitting so close.
There was maybe a few dozen in the fans.
Yeah,
and
we
maybe
were
a few
sitting
dozen
so
in the
close to the
North
field
Boundary,
that you could hear the conversation between the guys, and you can just hear Rubio like commanding that front line, and Yappy was coming down, and you just hear him yappy to give him a heads up that he was behind and open for the pass, and it was awesome just to have him on the pitch. And I can't, if you've not seen the highlight of that goal,
we retweeted
go back
it on
and
our
watch
account.
it.
Brendan Plone has video of it.
I mean, it is classic Diego banger. It is
Beautiful.
Just beautiful.
Big loop and shot from outside the box to the far right post. Beautiful stuff. Navarro, I mean, he didn't get, I don't even know if he had a shot on target or a shot even, but he got into dangerous places. He was in traffic, getting his head up for available crosses. You know, Yappy's probably not going to be sending in the most crosses based on the roster. So, you know, you kind of have to take him not converting those with a grain of salt because it's more likely to see a Lewis or a Bassett if he goes up, or a Galvan.
I think you'll see Brian
get a little
in there.
better delivery in on those crosses to his head. Cabral was open for a nice header, kind of smacked him like right lower forehead.
He was close.
Yeah, he had a okay night. He probably
It was
had,
okay.
you know, it wasn't definitely not a bad night. It was nice to see him be able to play with Navarro because I think that's important. If he can stretch and Navarro can kind of play just behind those deep, fast runs that Cabral can make on that right side. Bassett we saw on the left wing in the last game, but could be Galvan, could be, you know, there's a lot of options there. So
there's going to be more attention now on Navarro, and I think those center backs are going to have to pay attention to where maybe they haven't had to pay attention to the Rapids offensive front, right?
Right.
And so I think that's going to open it up for a Cabral or Galvan or whoever is coming in from the wings to be able to put some dangerous balls on net. So it's not just the goals that Navarro brings in, but he is dangerous and he's sneaky and he was getting into play. And I think that's going to spell danger for the opposing defense and certainly
gonna
take
help
them.
Cabral, for sure.
It's going to take them out of position, which is great.
I want to see him play with Cabral. I want Rubio out there. That left wing spot, who can it be, right? Can it be Bassett, which is what we saw at the end, or in the Toluca loss? He was left wing the whole game. Is it going to be Jonathan Lewis? Is it going to be Sam Nicholson? Is it going to be Galvan? Is it going to be Cabral? Like, it's interesting to see who's going to fill in those spots. What it's going to be is who has the fastest and most potent chemistry with Navarro.
Yeah,
that
who
is
can get the
all
ball
the
on
rest
his
of
foot.
this is for.
Yeah.
That is the rest of the season. Is this offense is going to be heavily featuring Navarro for the next 11 games and for the first whatever of next year until the loan expires and the buy option comes due. Who works with him? Who doesn't? Last night, you liked what you saw with Cabral. Definitely liked what you saw with Diego and him. I don't see Yappy starting on the left wing, but if it works, why not? I mean, that's what it's all about now.
And I also think, you know, as Rubio's getting back, you know, he's probably still recovering. You know, we don't know what those injuries are, but it's been a big part of the season, so it's probably not, you know, 100% yet. And maybe it is, which would be awesome.
Right.
But if it's not, then I think you see a rotation maybe where Rubio subs off and Bassett comes in, and you've still got, you know, a really nice option there with Navarro up front. So that creates a good thing too. And, you know, Bassett and Rubio play different. And so that gives the defense something to pay attention to versus switching out the same piece for the exact same piece, which I know we've had concerns with. And certainly people who watch the show and on Twitter have also been frustrated with that. You're subbing
Like for like.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's interesting as well.
Yeah. It's an interesting. We also saw Tavares last night.
Yep.
Literally, we saw him. He was there. He was not
there.
in uniform.
Can
yet.
confirm he is here
on
location.
So this is from Rapids. Right now, he's on a tourist visa, which they're not. It's either England or Portugal. I don't remember which one. But it's easy for him to get that tourist visa from whichever country
I don't
that
know
is.
which country it came from.
Well, they couldn't remember who I was talking to either way. But he's here on a tourist visa. They said it was one or the other. They couldn't remember. So he's here on a tourist visa. That's why he got here so fast. Getting a tourist visa from Brazil. There's like a 4-letter acronym, and I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to guess on air. But Brazil is not a part of that agreement. So getting that tourist visa takes just as long as getting the P1 visa to work. So that's why they didn't apply for it with Navarro, because it would have just delayed getting him here even longer. From what I heard, Tavares will be training next week.
Awesome.
He just has to go to Canada, to wherever the embassy is from one of those two countries.
Portugal?
Either Portugal or England. And because he was in the English Academy, and came up, so it's possible it's through there.
But had
through
been
Leicester,
playing
yeah.
for Porter's B.
Yeah, so it's one of the two. Either way, he has to go to Canada, get it, come back. He should be back next week. So pretty cool to see him. It's an interesting little time. I mean, for games that are essentially meaningless in terms of playoff contention, it's kind of cool that there are these running clock on Tavares and Navarro, right? So it's like kind of a new season starts next Saturday.
Yeah, the
against
loan
LAFC.
has begun.
It is
and the
basically
loan has
the Navarro
deadlines.
loan. Yes, it is the Navarro loan. That is the new season you are in if you are the Rapids. Is this guy worth $4.5 million? Can you find people that play with him? Is Tavares that piece? Can Tavares kind of complete that midfield with Ronan and Diego? Because that's probably what it's going to be like last year, right? So is that what we're going to see? I hope so. Right? Because I don't know what else. You're definitely not playing for anything else at this point.
No, it's wins and losses don't matter for the rest of the season now. And I know that the Rapids have to say it's playoff push time.
Oh, God.
And you know what? I feel bad for them because they have to say that. And
Robin loves letting us know that we're still not eliminated
he's
from
coach.
playoffs.
He's got to do coach talk. But really, it is about looking at what we have for 2024 at this point. Which pieces are going to stay with the club? Which ones are not? Which ones are going to be rearranged and shuffled, maybe to R2 or loaned out? That's what the next, the 11 matches are all about.
Yep.
We're in 2024 now. It's preseason now for 2024 to see where we're at.
Absolutely.
And regardless on what you feel about the season, try to have fun with the rest of the season. And there are things to watch when you go to the stadium or you're watching on Apple TV.
It's scouting.
There's
time.
There's things to watch for now, and you don't have to worry about like the wins or the losses anymore. Now you can get more into the weeds and not think about big picture squad on the field. Now you can look at individual pieces. How are they playing in that position? Do they gel well? If they don't, then what do we need to bring in? Because there's another window coming up before the season starts for 2024, and there are options out there, and we're going to talk in the future about MLS free agents. That list came out this week.
Oh yeah, we'll talk
you
about
can
that
find
in the
it.
next segment.
You can find it online.
There's only 5, and only one is actually doesn't have an option for the Rapids.
Yeah, well, I'm just meaning not Rapids.
Right.
The list is out there of who we can bring in. We'll talk about that on a future show.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will talk about Rapids specific coming up in the next segment.
Absolutely. Before we get to that segment, Mark Weatherly, our guy, who does Tavares take time from in the midfield? Will Max ever play for the Rapids again?
That's such a crystal ball question.
I will say I asked again last night. I ask every time I'm around the Rapids, have you heard anything about Max? The answer is no. There is nothing to know until the legal process plays out. It's very simple. If Max is found to be innocent of the charges, he will play for the Rapids again.
Yeah, I think so.
If he does not, you will never see Max play in a top flight league ever again. As someone said on Twitter, or maybe it was in the subreddit, you'll see him next to Andrei Shinyashiki in Azerbaijan in a non-extradition league coming up shortly.
He would be playing. I think he would be playing in Acosta's role, where Acosta was
for Tavares.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other question. Yeah. Where
to
does
answer
Tavares
that
take
second
time?
part, I think he's playing.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Ronan.
He's going to play
Tavares,
in that 8
and Rubio, and you're going to really hope that back four can hang. Really, what you're going to see is Keegan. I think you're going to see Gutman up forward a lot more than everyone else. A lot more than Keegan. It's going to be basically Keegan and the 2 center backs.
See, I think Keegan might even start pressing more now.
Well, they're not only 2 people
Gutman
back there with no defensive midfielder. It's not going to happen.
Well, I just think you're going to see more of a press from Rosenberry than we're used to. Though I think he's going to.
If we're saying it's a 4-3-3. Right now, if you take one of those wingers off and just play Rubio and Navarro together, 3 midfielders, then you can have that back five and allow Keegan and Gutman to push. But if it's just those two center
that's
backs,
true.
you cannot
Yeah,
leave them
you're
on an
right.
island
You're
like that without a defensive presence in the midfield, which they just don't have right now. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to talk Leagues Cup, some MLS free agency, stuff like that. But first, we have to talk about the homies. Which homies, Duane? Shady Rays, baby! Duane looks very good in his Shady Rays, I have to say. He was rocking them in that sunny north boundary last night.
And I don't look good in sunglasses usually.
But those ones you do.
But I look good in these.
Yeah.
Like, I feel confident.
They're kind of Pitt's colors almost.
I chose
in
them
the tortoise
because
shell.
they were...
It looks cool.
They were the closest I could get to burgundy and blue. They're technically red and blue. So it was kind of a U.S. women's national team.
There we
and
go.
also PID's kind of mashup. That's why I chose those.
Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn, durable frames, and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. And that's not all, Duane.
Tell me more.
Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear.
I need to hear more about that.
That's when you go, how insane is it?
How insane is it? I need to hear more about it.
Every single pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, much like DNVR Rocky's host Susie Hunter did,
It's true.
they told us they will send a brand new pair. No questions asked. No shots fired. Suze, love you. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact. From building play sets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime, Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. You can shop the entire collection at their brand new location, Park Meadows Mall, a full stop shop for all things Shady Rays. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. No risk when you shop. They got your back. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal this season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code DNVR for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Okay. Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup. The Chaos Cup. It is incredible. Folks, if you are not watching Leagues Cup, you are missing out on some of the most fun soccer of the year. It is bananas. We had 3 games at one time going to kicks at the same time.
It's
bananas.
It's chaos. It really is chaos. And especially because there is no extra time, there's just penalties. It's insane.
Wild.
It's just, if you see, I think I was at the gym and I made us cut it short so we could get back home and watch the last 10 minutes of 3 games at once on my phone, my laptop, and TV, because it is that fun to watch. I'm having so much fun with every single one of these games. The missing element, obviously, is home games in Mexico. It kind of is unbalanced in that they're all on the road. To you, though, what has stood out so far? We're entering the quarterfinals. I mean, we really only have 3 match days left. I mean, it's coming down to it. What have you liked so far? What have you not liked? Anything like that?
I mean, the only answer for every question is the word chaos.
Chaos.
Like, if you love it, then this is the best tournament for you.
Yes.
If you don't like chaos, and that's why one of your favorite teams is now out of it, then you don't like it. But either way, it's chaos. Like, I had in my bracket America going all the way to the final, no longer in.
Didn't even make the quarters.
I would never have picked that they would not be in the quarters. And here we are, because it went to kicks. And it's, if you are not scoring during regulation in Leagues Cup, anybody can win, because it's PKs, which are such a total crapshoot.
It is pretty crazy. I mean, you see teams like, Pumas lost in the first knockout round. NYC loses to Red Bull, which I guess NYC's not what they were, but, you get some crazy goals. RSL beating Leon was pretty wild. It's just been fun, man. Like,
It's been super wild.
Minnesota surviving PKs against Toluca. And then, of course, I mean, the real story of Leagues Cup
It's Mazatlan.
is Tijuana. Just kidding. It's Messi. It's the GOAT. It is. They might as well call this the Messi Cup if he comes through and wins.
I mean, man, he seems unstoppable. Well, I'm not going to say seems unstoppable
Because he is unstoppable.
I mean, they were not guaranteed that match. The last one with the most bizarre own goal that I have ever seen. I have never seen someone bury an own goal like in that last match with that header. I mean, that was an own goal with authority. It was so strange. And that doesn't happen. And I don't think Team Messi is moving on. So again,
What,
it's
against
chaos.
Charlotte?
No, was it Charlotte?
They're playing Charlotte tomorrow.
No. Who they just played?
Oh, Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah,
yes.
Dallas deserved to win that game.
My friends over at Dallas. Yeah, I mean, most people who watch the show, if you watch the show, my feelings on FC Dallas are not positive.
It is, quote, your least favorite team in the world.
And I found myself like, cool, FC Dallas could pull this off.
Oh, God,
and so
you
I was
traitor.
kind of rooting for Dallas a little bit.
Oh, no. What is happening?
It's chaos. I'm rooting for chaos in this in this entire tournament. It's what I want.
I mean, I had even some of the Nuggets guys were like, when's the next Messi game? It's like, wow.
That's what everybody wants to see.
Friday.
So,
And they're like, cool, now I know what I'm watching on Friday. We don't have to watch preseason football, guys. We can watch the GOAT. We can watch Messi in a knockout game. Here's what I love about this. One, single elimination, right? We're not doing home and homes, right? There's not two legs. There's not aggregate.
It's win or go home.
Win or go home. Two, what I love about this midseason tournament is that it's actually a midseason tournament. Everything stopped. They're playing it all the way through, and then it's over. We're not getting a group game once or twice a month through the first half. Knockouts 1 week and then the next for the legs once a month in the second half.
It's tournament time
and then the
and
final
enjoy it.
after the last game of the season. This is how midseason tournaments should be. This is the chaos level that you don't get in those European Cups, right? Because those teams lose a game and they're right back to their next game in league, right? Or their domestic tournament or whatever it is, right? There's got the next thing, right? So to be able to see, the next... That's just like, that is what I like. That is the way I want to see these tournaments go.
Totally.
Is like there's so much more urgency for these guys because either they're out and they get 2 weeks and they can go down to Cabo real quick with their wife and their girlfriend or family or whatever, or you're still playing single elimination knockout games against some of the best teams on the continent. It's really cool. I'm really in. I've had so much fun. Do you want to do our picks right now for the quarterfinals?
Yeah, let's do our picks.
Okay.
First up, LAFC over Monterey is my pick.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
LAFC, and I put this on Twitter last night, has scored more goals
I know.
in the
This is
two
sad.
games of this tournament. 2 games of this tournament. Kale, this is going to make you not want to watch a Rapids game ever. LAFC has scored more goals in 2 games of this tournament than the Rapids have scored in total since their Open Cup win over Sacramento on May 9th.
Yo, there's no way that's a real stat.
It's a real
The
stat, my
Rapids
friend.
have scored 9 goals since then. LAFC has scored 11 in 2 games in this tournament.
Oh.
2.
Dude, that's so bad.
2 games, 11. I know, it's tough.
Kale, we just got a striker though, so things are
Yeah, we got a
probably
Brazilian
gonna
striker. Everything's changed. This is a whole new world we live in. Look,
change.
LAFC
Those
is
are old
cruising.
stats.
LAFC is going to cruise. Even though Monterey is really, really, really good.
I think Monterey is. They are the best team left coming out of Liga MX.
True, but they also
But they're
not
good
in
in
mid-season
general.
form, right? Liga only played 3 games or
they've
something.
they've just
Yeah.
started their season.
Yeah. So I think this LAFC is in cruise control. Boanga's unstoppable.
It's unfortunate for Monterey that they
Yeah.
have LAFC.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're both in agreement there. LA.
Yep.
No, wait, you said Monterey's going.
No.
No.
LAFC.
LAFC.
For sure.
Got it. Okay.
Next up is Minnesota versus Nashville.
I mean, I'm taking the MVP. I'm taking Hani Mukhtar. I'm taking Nashville.
I'm taking Minnesota.
Wow.
Because chaos.
Throw your picks in the chat while we're doing this, guys.
It makes sense for Nashville to win, but I think because Leagues Cup, it's going to be Minnesota. They got their guy back.
Yeah, Reynoso's back. Pookie is in there and doing his thing.
They played pretty well the other night. I don't know if I'm using my Leagues Cup chaos vibes. I'm going Minnesota over that one.
All right, cool. I like that we have different answers for this.
That one's the most up in the air match.
I don't think so. I think Nashville's way better than they are.
We shall see.
But there's no chaos element.
The
so
Chaos Cup will determine.
The only other game left with a Liga MX team. Philly taking on Querétaro.
I don't know.
I don't.
Rapid Man bless you for even trying it.
Where is Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, we were not allowed to say.
Yeah.
Top secret.
Top secret.
This is obvious. Union Philadelphia is going to
Yes.
roll them.
Totally agree.
Although I
don't know if they're going to roll them, but they're going to win.
Philly went to PKs 0-0 against DC. They went to PKs 1-1 against Red Bull. They have not, yes, they are Philly. Yes, they are winning. Yes, they are advancing. They have not looked like peak Philly. Like last year's unstoppable force. In this tournament, they have not shown that level.
Yeah.
I still think they're better and they're going to win.
I think you're in the quarterfinals now, and I think teams are going to start turning it up a level, and I think this is the level where you start to see Philly of last season start to really turn it on.
Gazdag Brayson coming tomorrow night. Calling it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last game, the game more Americans are going to watch than any other soccer game this weekend.
Why? What could it be?
You got Miami and Charlotte.
I think the way you just announced both clubs is the results of that match.
Look, Charlotte's not stopping Messi. What
Is it
camera am I
going to
looking
kicks?
at? Look, they're not
is,
stopping Messi.
or is Miami going to win in regulation?
Miami's going to win by 4 goals, dude.
Okay. I don't think it's going to kicks either.
No chance.
4 goals is a lot.
Okay, maybe not 4 goals. They might score 4 goals, though.
Did you see somebody posted on Twitter a few days ago? It was during the Dallas-Miami match when Messi had his free kick. Once again, magic Messi goal.
God, it was
And they
so
showed, someone had a camera view while the referee was separating everybody on the line. Messi would look up and see that the ref was occupied, and he moved the ball up a foot.
Good for him.
And then he took a look and saw that the referee was still back towards him, and he moved it up again.
Good.
He moved the ball 5 times.
Good.
And put it right in the spot that he needed while the referee was not looking to be able to get it right in that corner.
Yeah.
And it just cracked me up.
Look,
that was one of my favorite things I've seen on Twitter in a long time.
I saw this TikTok of what throw-ins have become now, and it's just a guy with the ball in his head sprinting down the sideline. And look, that's just what it
And
is.
just
now.
launching
You're
it
gonna
before a
game
whistle is blown.
until they tell you not to.
Yeah,
You're
you
going to
keep
take
pushing
whatever
it.
advantage you can get, because that's how it goes.
That was a best soccer player in the world pro level move, and it really cracked me up.
Yeah, it was great. Okay, really quick, let's look at these MLS free agents. For the Rapid specifically, we'll do a whole preview show probably of this maybe next week or sometime after that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I had the link and then I just lost it. We want to know the only person that is out of contract, as in will not, no matter what, no options of the 5 on the Rapids right now is Diego Rubio.
Correct. It doesn't mean we can't sign him. It just means there's no club option.
Correct. Here we go. I got it. Sweet. Colorado Rapids. Okay. He is the only out of contract. What should Diego Rubio come back? Because if I ask the question is, should the Rapids bring Rubio back? The obvious answer is yes. Right?
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
Should
now.
Diego Rubio come back? Does Diego Rubio want to come
Diego?
back? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
does he want to go back to Colo Colo in South America?
You look at the last 2 seasons, and what's best for Diego is to not be here.
I mean, it's almost true for anybody.
I hate this. Yeah. But he's the only one out of contract. Like,
right.
The power is all in Diego Rubio right now. Like, he has the power of choice. And so, I mean, you look at what's the best for Duane is for Diego Rubio to come back, so I get to watch him play another season with the Rapids.
Yeah, I got my new day kit with the special numbers with Rubio on it.
I mean, what's best for Rapids fans? It's Diego Rubio coming back in Burgundy. What's best for Diego Rubio? You know, we look at the human being, not, take our Burgundy glasses off, and we look at what's best for our guy, for our friend Diego Rubio. I mean, if I'm an athlete, if I'm Diego Rubio, I'm choosing the best option for me to be able to compete for a cup. If it means MLS, then I'm trying to get onto a squad that's going to be competing for MLS Cup.
Yeah.
And if it's not, and he wants to go closer to home, then it's another league.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there are lots of good options there,
Totally.
and he can finish his career close to home. In a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
What's wrong about that?
Yeah.
Nothing. That's
good
awesome.
Good for him.
Yeah.
The players with options. I'm going to ask you both, do they pick up the option and will they be here? Because I think there's scenarios with some of these guys where the option is picked up, but they are then traded. Right, to get some assets instead of letting them leave on a free.
Okay, that's I like that. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that is an option.
That's a great way to put it in perspective.
First, Steven Badischer.
Steven Badischer.
He's not making a ton of money. So if you pick up the option, doesn't really affect your salary cap in any way, shape, or form. He's a great vet. Did he play 90 last night? Or 60 or something? Like, he played a lot last night.
He played most of the match. Yeah. Man, that's a hard one. It's hard to separate Duane from, like, club.
Sure.
Because it's like, if I want it, I want Beta back. He's a good dude. If I'm the Rapids, it's not going to be a situation where they pick up the option and trade him.
Right.
Because I don't think there's
they either bring him back.
I don't think there's a trade market.
No, exactly. There isn't.
I feel in Rapids world right now, given the way the last 2 seasons have gone, changes need to happen. So no.
No. Got it. Gutman.
Of course.
Easy yes.
They need to extend him.
Yes. Easy yes with an extension.
Yes.
Jack Price. The answer is, unfortunately, no.
Yes. I want him back.
Of course you do. Guy's coming off an Achilles, calf injury, knee injury, hamstring last year. Yeah. Concussion too or something. No, broken rib.
Broken ribs and punctured lung.
Yeah. Look, he's just not going to be worth that money. He's just not. If you can negotiate it down, if he's willing to take less.
If you can negotiate it down, having him as part of the club is a bonus.
But I think at this point, you need to start planning life without Jack Price.
I hate that.
If I had to guess. Well, I'm sorry. Danny Wilson.
No.
Don't even pick it up?
No.
Don't even pick it up?
No.
Salmon is gone. Salmon's off the menu.
I don't think he picked that option up.
All right. There you have it. We are now going to rank all 8 Rapids transactions from this window. But first, we have to talk about our friends at Illegal Pete's.
So delicious.
We love Illegal Pete's. And this episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast is brought to you by Illegal Pete's, offering handmade mission-style burritos, bowls, and tacos crafted with responsibly sourced, high-quality ingredients with a full bar and a wide selection of local craft beer at every location to keep the burritos and the good times rolling. Stop by for happy hour 3 to 8 p.m. every day at all 12 locations. Illegal Pete's, the go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer for 28 years.
That's a lot of time to perfect burritos.
It's as long as
buddies, and
Chipotle.
beers.
They opened the same summer. Chipotle opened right
They're
next
so
to
much
DU.
better than Chipotle.
And Pete's opened up in, way better. But Pete's
Way better.
opened up in Boulder at the same time.
Okay.
28 years. It's a really long time.
I'm on Team Pete.
Dude, obviously, Pete's rules, all 12 locations. They're not kidding about with the responsibly sourced high-quality ingredients. They do not cheap out on the beef, the pork, any of it. It is all high-quality stuff.
So
That's why
good.
the shredded beef and the steak is so good there. Definitely check that out. That's my tip of the week.
Mitch's Pete's tip of the week.
Shout out to Illegal Pete's. Okay, it is time. It is time. We are ranking.
The transfer window is closed.
It is closed. It closed on the 5th.
It's officially closed. The next one won't happen until sometime in late January. So
Well, they can make moves and trades once the season's over.
There's like some funny weird time, but the next like official
The next
window.
international,
Yes,
every
like
league
big
open is
window.
January
Yeah.
1st.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second the new year begins, we'll see moves happening for sure
Yes.
if you're going out of league. Okay. We are going to go in order from positionally, from the back of the field forward.
Okay.
We are going to then place these players or these moves ranked 1 being the best, 8 being the least impactful move. Yes?
Yes.
Kale, you ready for this, baby? All right, let's
He's
go.
ready.
Number 1, Marco Illich, who loan expired and then just fully negotiated a new deal
2.5-year deal
with a long-term, 2.5 years.
with options for the next 2 years after
So
that.
it's 2 years for sure after this season, and then they can add
Options
one,
for
and then they
26
can add
and
one.
27.
Yep. I think it's a nice move. I don't think it's all that impactful when Yarbrough is playing as good as he is, and you have Adam Beaudry in the pipeline. So I put it 6th.
I agree. Not the top move of the window. I put it right in the middle at 4. I am doubtful that Yarby is coming back, which is why I put it a little higher.
And you're an Illich guy. He
which
is one of your guys, I
Yeah,
should say.
but I'm also a Yarby guy.
Yeah, you are.
But I don't think Yarby's coming back, which I think is too bad because he certainly earned it. He's had a great season. Illich has been okay. He's not knocked my socks off. He's also not totally disappointed
He was
me.
left out to dry last night.
He was really left out to dry. I do not put any of those goals on him last night. Hopefully, with more minutes, he gets better and we start to see his true potential.
He's huge.
Next season.
Athletic.
He's a big dude. He's
good
quick.
with the ball at his feet.
Yeah. But
I'm in.
if Yarby's gone, we need a goalkeeper.
Sure.
So that's why I put that a little higher.
Sure.
I think Beaudry is still developing. It's funny, in my original notes, I had Beaudry isn't big enough or old enough yet. And I changed that because we saw Beaudry last night.
dude is big.
And he grew.
He grew
he grew
4
a
inches.
lot. Yeah. He's looking really strong. He's
Big.
looking strong, which is
He is that
great.
guy.
Yeah, so he's developing, and I'm excited for his future as well.
My
But in the
prediction with
meantime,
Beaudry
I
is
think
he's-
it's Illich.
Beaudry's going to set the Rapids outbound record.
Woo, okay.
That is my
American
prediction.
goalkeeper could happen for sure.
Yeah, I'm in on that. Okay. Moving to the back line. Daniel Chacon. Promoted from the second team to a first team contract. Immediately loaned back to Costa Rica to the team he came from to play more minutes in the Costa Rican League.
Yep.
To me, this is the least impactful because from what we have seen, I don't think he is in any danger of stealing a first team spot from anyone, let alone having another window just 11 games away where they can bring in more center backs. He hasn't played a second with the first team. I don't know if he ever plays a second with the first team, so I can't put him any higher than last on the impact rating.
I put him right in the middle, right below Illich at 5. because I do think the ceiling is much higher. We'll see what we have again. Like you mentioned, he's gone back to Costa Rica. So hopefully we see what that looks like with that time. Yeah.
Five. He's never played a second for the first team.
Here's the thing. I don't expect Wilson to be back. I don't know if Lawless is going to be back.
I mean, they just cleared so much contract. They can just go get somebody.
They could, but we're talking Rapids here.
Rapids spend money. They just don't spend it well.
Well, and that's what we're, there you go. And I don't think we know what we have in Keita yet. So we've got Maxu, Bombito.
Well, there's your starters for sure.
Right, there's your starters.
At best, he's a rotation guy.
If he is a good rotation guy, if he's a good, strong depth piece, then I think this is an important signing for us to lock him up before he goes somewhere else. Okay. So I give it a little more weight.
Okay, next. Anthony Marcanic. Draft pick, young guy, outside back, completely buried, right?
Yep.
When Lucas came back, everyone thought, okay, maybe he can take that. When there wasn't a clear, right? Even Gersbach, like you thought he was coming in to start. He's been hurt, hasn't played well, whatever. But even then, even with that, Marcanic could never actually grab that spot. Beta featured more than he did. And then with Gutman coming in, it's clear there's no pipeline for him to be a impact left back on this team. As such, I put him 7th, Marcanic 7th, only because he's actually played.
Yeah, and this was the 8th for me.
Yeah.
For all the reasons that you just said. His salary was super duper low, so it doesn't make a huge impact to keep him or, send him somewhere else.
Yeah.
The return is it's okay. It's 75 for this year in GAM, plus St. Louis's natural first round pick, which is not going to be, they're playing great. It's not going to be a super great pick. And then there's another, depending on how he does, another possible 75 out there. But like you said,
I don't think he's going to play there either.
He wasn't getting minutes. Gutman exists.
Yeah.
So it's just, to me, like that was the least impactful on either side. I'm happy for him. He's going to a team that is competing.
Very good.
So super happy for him. Wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah.
It's just low impact for me, so it's the least impactful move.
All right, next. Andrew Gutman, brought in from Atlanta United, instantly making his presence felt on this back line.
Right away.
He is awesome. We love Gutman.
Totally.
This is far and away the number one move of this window. You have a left and right back that you can absolutely rely on through at minimum, the end of next season. Sign me up.
Yeah, well, with the option. Yeah.
They're not picking up the option.
No, of course not.
The only way they're not is if they say they decline it and he's instantly re-signing a longer contract. You have your outside back set in stone. That is such a difficult thing to do in the world of soccer.
You need to take all of this silly gam that we're getting from the other moves we haven't talked about yet and use that to extend him for 3 years immediately. Spend all of the silly gam.
I don't think that's how GAM works.
I don't know. Who knows how GAM works?
The dark arts.
The dark arts of MLS funny money. But you spend it. You make sure you lock Gutman up for a few years. Absolutely. Number one.
Mark, I agree with you on Maxu being the one, but that was winter window. We're talking just this window for right now, but I do agree Maxu is looking really good.
For sure. Yeah, and we're just talking summer window.
Yeah,
Sorry, we didn't explain that well enough.
Yeah. It's awesome to see. Okay, here we go. Up next, jumping up to the midfield. Outbound, Brian Acosta. Acosta came in after the Kellen Acosta to LAFC move happened. I think his impact is, if you're only looking on paper, isn't really going to show. I thought he was a very good professional, good depth. Took a lot of set pieces and free kicks when Pricey was hurt last year. Only 2 assists, no goals. But I thought, he's 100% got that dog. There's just an edge when he was on the field that the team had, and I don't know if other players picked up on it. Look, by no means a world beater. By no means are they going to build a Brian Acosta statue outside of the Richard. But he was an impactful signing, and they got decent return for him.
They did. They got 150 in that sweet gam.
Garber bucks.
And then up to another 175 in that sweet 2024 gam, which I hear is even prettier than the 2023 gam. That's what I heard. Gam, everybody.
They got power seats in that one.
So, yeah, more important than the money that we got for him is that his salary.
I had him fifth. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I have him seventh. Is mostly that it opened up that spot, and his salary was around 732 ish thousand. So that's a lot of money to get off the books, and that's where the value is even more, I think, than what we got for him. But if you can take that sweet gam and put it towards sweet Gutman extension, then I'm all for it. That's how it works for me. No one gets it.
No one understands. Up next, Sidney Tavares. Incoming from Porto, in the top flight in Portugal, a team that is consistently playing European games, has turned out a lot of talent. He joined Porto's B team from Leicester City's academy in the Premier League. So he's
two Premier League appearances.
Two Premier League
not
appearances.
Just in the academy.
Correct. So, but for the most part, he does not have a lot of experience.
Yeah, there's not.
He's
not a lot
played
of
for
tape.
development squads.
Yeah, there's not a lot of tape.
He hasn't. Yeah, there's not a ton of tape. That being said, the Rapids brought in Pinto from Benfica, maybe Sporting Lisbon, from one of the other three really good Portuguese teams to find emerging talent. Right, like that's kind of
surprisingly we have a Portuguese player coming to the Rapids that did not play for Wolverhampton.
It is very
which
strange.
just
There's
made
not
the
a lot
most
of them.
sense ever.
But this is kind of, to me, that is screaming his first move. To me, that move is my third most impactful move. If it works, it is a great find. Period.
Yeah, agree 100%. If he is the guy, whether it's the Acosta replacement, playing in the number 8 spot, if he is him, then this is a fantastic move.
Correct.
We just don't know.
We don't.
So that's, yeah. So I think it's fair at 3.
Up next, club legend, giant of the game, super sub, bulldog, Mikey B, Michael Barrios.
Sweet Mikey B.
I got nothing but love for Michael Barrios.
Same.
Mikey B is so fun to watch. Leads the team in expected dog per minute.
That's fact.
Just an absolute savage. Always left it out there. Maybe lost a step this season, but now going into a Galaxy team where pretty clearly he can be a sub. Can you come in for 20 minutes and just run those flanks? And I think he can. I think it's going to be really fun.
And it's Galaxy. I mean, what do they have to lose?
They have nothing to
Not
lose.
a lot.
Except the first round pick that they sent. So, which will probably be a top 5 pick at worst.
That's the best thing about this one is that
so
there's
to
a
me,
good chance
Mikey B comes in really quick. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
As the 4th most impactful.
And I've got him in the middle at 6. It could go either way, right? It depends on who that first round pick, where it ends up and who it turns into, but
I think it was Jason Maxwell. I believe that I saw this on Twitter. Generally speaking, Porig has one guy he's looking for in a draft.
Yeah.
For the most part. There's one target. He's not going to use a lot of training camp spots with young guys that aren't even going to threaten to make the team. He's not about it. He will for sure be the first person to not use a pick in this draft. Absolutely 100%. He has ammo now. Right? So
he's
say
got
the Rapids
4
accidentally...
first round picks.
Yeah, so I believe it's 3.
I think it's 4 now. I went through and
They have theirs.
shout out to Rabbi. He put it out, and I was looking through, and I think it's up to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, if there's a guy they like, say they win a little too much, their picks, say Galaxy wins a little too much, all of a sudden they have 4, 7, and whatever. Not that I think that's how it's going to go, but he has ammo to go get the player he wants.
I think we could have 1 and 4.
There's a very good chance.
Yeah, I think that's very likely. Then you already get your guy at 1, and then you've still got another probably top 5, and then you've got 2 more. Because one of them was from a trade from last yeyear.
Yeah.
I think that brought in that
Yeah,
fourth
look.
one. So you've still got 3 to play with after your first pick.
Yeah.
So
he's going to get his guy.
there's
And
value
look,
there.
His last guy, Moise Bombito. So there you go. All right, last but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the Brazilian legend, the man with the Jumpman tattoo on his neck, Rafael Navarro. Rafa, our guy. He's our number 2.
Yes.
And he's my number 2 because we've seen Gutman be awesome, and we haven't seen Navarro be awesome yet.
Exactly.
If he is more awesome, if he scores a goal, I'm going to be so all in. If he scores a goal in his first game,
He's got to
I should
score
say.
3
Yeah.
goals because Gutman's got 2.
He has 3 now,
Okay, well, he's got 3 then.
right?
I thought he had 2.
Yeah, maybe he has
I
just
don't
2.
know.
Either way, man, he does have to come in and produce, Hey,
He's got to.
look, he produced a ton for a Brazilian promotion side from Serie B to Serie A.
Sure.
He then got stuck behind one of the most hyped prospects in modern football, period.
And that doesn't mean that Navarro is not him.
Yeah.
It just means that there's also another him.
There's a more him.
Another
Yeah.
him that can get them more money. And so that
He's
guy's
going to
going to
Real
get more,
Madrid.
he's going to get more playing time.
Yes.
It's very natural.
So he comes to Colorado.
So
he go to Real Madrid. No, you're going to Commerce City. Get ready to speak Colorado, buddy. Shout out to Mitch Potter with that Stan Kroenke gif or meme. He's gonna be awesome.
Totally. That's certainly what we hope. We did see some positive things. It was a different experience last night to watch the offense. It looked different, and it was more interesting to watch. So you hope that in the next 12 months, because the clock is now ticking.
Next season starts Saturday against LAFC.
Yes.
Next Saturday.
Correct.
Sunday.
The Navarro season starts.
Whatever day it is. Sunday, I think. Against LAFC. That is the Rapids calendar right now. Until they can, unless they go into this next window and just bring in some big name guys, your season is from right now until Navarro loan ends. Period. End of story. That is all you are going for.
We will see a lot about what the wingers are going to look like next season in the next 11 games. Because it's one thing to have him, it's another thing to have folks getting the ball on his boot.
Yep.
So I think that's going to answer quite a few questions that, again, makes this last part of the season something interesting to watch for.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us for today. Duane, plug us out.
Jump into that beautiful, beautiful like button on YouTube.
Hit that like.
Follow us on Twitter, DNVR_Rapids.
We're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun.
As that sinks ships, I'll be playing my violin until I'm underwater, baby.
So, yeah, jump in wherever you listen to us or watch us, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. Give us a review that is 5 stars. Help us out. The more you help us out, the more we get to keep doing what we do. So we appreciate all of your support as always. Thanks for jumping into the chats and letting us know how you feel about these transfer moves that we've made in the past window. Yeah, and we'll see you next week. This guy won't because he's going on vacation.
Become a die-hard member at thednvr.com. Get you discounts, get you free merch, get you cheap merch, get you cheap tickets, get you in on some of our cool trip packages that we have where we're going to
Broncos
Chicago,
tailgates are coming up.
We're going to the CU TCU game. I think those are the only trips we have on the books right now. But there's a ton of stuff. All our Broncos tailgates are coming up. You get cheaper tickets for that. You can take the party bus from here to there, which is crazy fun. We got all sorts of stuff coming up. Premier League starts this weekend. Duane, on Sunday, it is my Manchester United against your Wolverhampton Wanderers without a manager, without all their players
We have
from
a
last
manager.
season.
We got Gary O'Neill now.
Oh, jeez.
Shake it in your boots now.
Without Lopetegui, or however you say his name.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, I think you got it.
He left this week.
Yeah. I'm not going to get into it.
Do you have a prediction for me? Since we don't have Rapids predictions?
Sure. Man United 4, Wolves 0.
You know that's right.
I hate to say it, but we've done nothing to address. I mean, Silva's back, but I'm still not convinced that we have any offense for Wolves.
I am not convinced of that either.
It makes me sad. But
Guys, thank you so much. As always, we really appreciate you being here and riding with us. We have one more week without a Rapids game. We will be back next week. Minus me, I will be backpacking in the woods of Colorado, fighting off bears. It's going to be a great time.
Terrifying.
More boring than all that, baby. Up the pits.